Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and this is a quick mini review of Daredevil Season 2, Episode 12. And shit, I had a nerdgasm in this episode. Straight up. Before we get to that, and I know you guys are eager to hear the details, but before we get to that, I do want to talk about Elektra. The big reveal happened. I did hear a couple people talking about, comic book fans, talking about how they really didn't like that, so I guess that's different. I'm talking about the whole stick Daredevil Elektra connection. Again, I'll keep this kind of spoiler free. My nerdgasm, though, that's going to be spoilers, but I'll give you a warning. Anyway, I did like the twist that happens with her, and it does tie everything up. It starts to make sense, especially right about now. If you guys are this far, you know that Stick tries to kill Elektra, and that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense after watching this episode and seeing how it comes together. Although I still have questions, there's still a lot of questions up in the air, and I still, being someone who hasn't stuck with the comic book, again, as a kid, I know who Daredevil is, I know who Kingpin is. I mean, I had the frickin' toys when I was little. I would read the comics in the grocery store, buy some, take some home, but I didn't stick with it. So, even though I know about the Hand, when I hear it, I know Kingpin and the Daredevil mainly, Bullseye, Punisher, obviously. I know these characters. I don't know the details. See what I mean? So there are still some questions that need to get answered, but I like how they tied that up. I do enjoy Stick's story, what they do talk about here, and how it connects. I do believe, though, there's still some mystery there. He still comes off as inconsistent. I mean, at times he seems like he cares, and then he seems like he couldn't give a shit. But then again, that might be just his personality. He's blunt, straightforward, and he knows something we don't know, obviously. Now we know some, but there's a lot more we still don't know. But with all that said, I want to move on to the Punisher because I'm dying to talk about my nerdgasm. Now, there's a twist that happens with Karen. She's writing that story for the newspaper, so she's doing some investigation, and that reveal there was actually really cool. I won't spoil it here, but later on, Karen says something, and we're going to slowly get into spoilers right now, so just warn you. Later on, Karen says something to the Punisher that I was like, what? She goes, if you do this, you're dead to me, you're nothing to me, I'll never speak to you again, or some shit like that. And I was just like, really, bitch? Man, you think highly of yourself, don't you? I mean, listen, I get that, you know, they had some interactions, and they could even possibly be friendly with each other. He's saved her life a number of times, but that's still one hell of a thing to say to a guy who's on a mission. That mission is the byproduct of his entire life crumbling out from underneath him. For one girl to just all of a sudden show up, have a couple decent interactions with him, possibly become kind of friends, for her to be like, oh, drop everything, your entire life's submission at this point, or else I'll never speak to you again. To me, I just would have preferred if she shut up and just walked away. And she was just like, you know what, Frank, I can never go near you again, stay away from me, I can't do this. I don't agree with it. However, now that I think about it, this actually is very interesting because her and Murdoch had that conflict, and she didn't know where she stood. She didn't know, she was like, oh, maybe it's not so bad, whoop-de-whoop. And that's what caused them essentially to say, hey, let's call it a night. Now she's in that position, and she knows 100%, no, killing's bad. Save that for God or, the justice. Save that for the law or God or whoever. But she knows she doesn't want him doing it. So yeah, that is actually interesting now that I look back to it. But what is my nerdgasm moment? Well, the Punisher discovers an arsenal of weapons. And I won't go over the details, obviously. If you haven't seen it and you're still watching, I'll spare you the details. But he finds a shitload of weapons, and that is awesome. But he turns to his right, and he picks up, he touches or just lifts up a bulletproof vest. Now, obviously, if people are just watching this, they might not pick up on what's on the bulletproof vest. But if you look at the stitching and the design, well, here you go. Take a look for yourself. He touches this bulletproof vest, and if you pause it, and I drew lines on here, if you look at the shape and the design, it's the Punisher skull. Down at the bottom are the little grooves for the teeth. You have the length, and then you have the eye area here. It's the freaking skull. How awesome is that? Now, I don't know how they're going to paint it, how he's going to put the skull on it. I do hope we see that at least once before the end of this season, but I'm loving this. And I put images up here where I drew in the skull where you can see it, and I colored it in. It's real shitty, but I did it super fast. But I'm loving this. This is so awesome. I am so damn excited for this, and I just love that idea that it was the stitching there. And this is freaking awesome because the stitching and the design gives that emblem some this symbol is some pop to it, if you get what I'm saying. But not only that is, if the Punisher did the skull himself, he would have to be somewhat of an artist to draw the skull on there and get it on there just right. In this case, all he has to do is pretty much paint over the shape of the outfit there, or the bulletproof vest. I just love it. I love it so damn much, and I needed to show this, especially for the fans who did not pick up on this. I am so thrilled about this that it's incredible. I am like in fan heaven right now. I'm geeking out over it so much. I love it, and I cannot wait for a standalone Punisher. I could talk all day about it. I love the Punisher, and I'm just so excited that finally Punisher fans have an awesome Punisher story to get invested in, to get behind, to enjoy. I'm thrilled. I'm going to shut up and stop geeking out. Thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.